Okay, Mr. Hiltner, I think we are good to go.
Hey, real quick, what's that phone number again? I don't have that.
It is 856-882. Say 1126.
Now,
I think it's 1126. Well, give me 1 second here. Can you call Tad or just? Yeah. We're on the website.
I got it, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, great. All right, Bill, 7:01, we are good.
Okay, let's call our meeting to order. Let's please rise for a moment of silence and the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Augustine, opening statement. Augustine, are you good to go with the opening statement?
It's on mute.
Here she comes.
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been faxed, emailed by Board Secretary May 7, 2019 and May 12, 2020 to the Courier Post and posted on the school's bulletin board. Notice was also faxed and emailed to the borough clerks of Pinella, Laurel Springs, Magnolia, Summerdale, and Stratford.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley.
Here.
Mr. Clark.
Here.
Miller. Here. Mr. Nicholas.
Here.
Mrs. Oakes-Brandt.
Here.
We were advised that Mr. Radcliffe could not attend. He's absent. Mr. Sims.
Here.
Ms. Stout.
Here.
And Mr. Hiltner.
Here.
We have
Thank you. Thank you. Once again, we'd like to welcome the community to our online version of our semi-monthly board meetings. And we invite you to participate if you have questions or comments by calling the following number, 856-882-1126. Again, welcome to all out there that are listening and watching. Please feel free to get a hold of us if you need us, 856-882-1126. Okay, we're up to visitor comment at the moment. Agenda items only, 5-minute limit. Mr. Kay, I assume you're keeping the stopwatch handy there?
Sure thing, we got it. We'll give him a minute. Okay, we're 1 minute in. Mr. Kay has indicated that we have no phone calls.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting, please.
So moved. B.J. Oakes-Brandt.
Thank you.
Jason Clark, second.
Thank you.
Any questions on the minutes? All right, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley.
Yes.
Mr. Clark.
Yes.
Mrs. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas.
Yes.
Mrs. Oakes-Brandt.
Yes.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Ms. Stout.
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, Mr. Sheen, I'll turn it back to you for the superintendent's report.
All right, thank you, sir. I'd like to first off thank the administration and staff for all of their hard work during this remote learning. And obviously our partnership with our students and parents has, as always, we expect that and we're very pleased with how that's gone so far. So we're going down here. We have student statistics through April of 2020. Board meeting highlights. Number 3, the Varsity Sports Award. Mr. Claiborne, along with some of our coaches from the fall, winter, and spring seasons, met this week and created some videos, and we'll have an award ceremony, a virtual award ceremony coming the first week of June. In addition to that, the ROTC Change of Command will do a virtual ceremony as well. I'd also like to point out, before we get to the graduation ceremony, that our Anti-Defamation League has designated Sterling High School as a No Place for Hate school for the 2019-20 school year. This is a tremendous recognition for all of our students. I'd like to give a lot of congrats to Mrs. Epbright, Ms. Myers, many staff and students at Sterling High School. We're very excited for that recognition and for moving forward to the years to come. Finally, our virtual graduation ceremony will be held on June 18th at 6:30 at night. We have set up a schedule for visits from the senior students and their parents over the course of 3 or 4 days to go through a graduation station, which will culminate in a picture of each graduate with their parents issuing them their diploma. So we're very excited about that. And that is it for my items.
Hey, Matt, I'm curious, the Anti-Defamation League has honored us. Expand on that a little bit?
Yes, we worked with the Anti-Defamation League this year. Again, Mrs. Upright kind of took the central position here, where they did some surveys with students. They talked about, the culture and the climate at Sterling High School. They were involved in several projects. And again, between the students, staff, administration, they came in and they kind of championed Sterling High School and in reference to how our tolerance, our understanding, our perspective on different things, and it's a nice recognition, and we'll have some projects in the future that we have planned to kind of maintain this No Place for Hate status. So we're thrilled to have received this recognition.
That's great, man. Good job. Okay, that takes us to items requiring board action. Mrs. Miller, Human Resources.
I'd like to move item 1A through, keep going, D, please.
Second.
Is that it? 1 to D? I can't see below that. Anything below that, right, Matt?
I think that's it.
Okay. Questions, comments on those items?
Matt, please extend the Board of Education's congratulations to the teachers and aides that are involved, would you?
Sure will.
Thanks.
Well deserved.
Okay, thank you, PJ. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley,
Yes.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas,
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt,
Yes.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Ms. Stout,
Yes.
and Mr. Hillner.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Moving on. Whoops, what happened to our agenda?
We're at the superintendent's addendum.
Mm-hmm.
No more, okay, we're on the
No,
agenda.
there's-
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need, Mr. Ferguson Grant, education.
Thank you. I'd like to move under education, 1A, please.
Second.
Was that Mrs.
Do we have a second?
Mrs. Stout.
Thank you.
Questions on that item? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley,
Yes.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Nichols,
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt,
Yes.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Ms. Stout,
Yes.
Mr. Hillner.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Back to you, Mrs. Miller, for Human Resources addendum here.
I'd like to move item 2A, please.
Second.
You got that, Joanne?
Yes.
Okay. Questions, comments? In the absence of any, let's go with roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley,
Yes.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller. I didn't hear that.
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas,
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt,
Yes.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Ms. Stout,
Yes.
and Mr. Hiltner.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. I guess we stay with you, Mrs. Augustine, on Board Secretary's report.
Correct. Okay, there's some informational items there, the student activities account reconciliation for March. Also just wanted to, again, highlight that NutriServe has been doing a great job with food distribution. They completed their 9th week of handing out the meals to the schools, and they've served 126 bags containing 7 days worth of meals. And also there's an email from our director, Fran Smith, attached as well. Monday, July 27th, just for informational purposes, is the last day to file a nomination petition for the school board election that is right now scheduled for November 3rd, 2020. And the last part is, again, from the School Boards Association, due to COVID-19, at this point, the in-person workshop that's normally held in October is not going to be held in person. And right now they're working on some virtual workshops, and hopefully we'll have more details later as they become available.
Mrs. Augustine, before we move on to the bill list, would it be worth our while to refresh the memory of those who may be up for re-election and need to fill out that petition?
I could, yeah,
I think that would be me, Bill. I think I'm the only one that's up this year. Finish out Mr. Thomas.
No, I am.
Okay.
yeah, I have the list in the other room. I can send the 3 individuals an email just to remind them.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay, we need a motion to approve the bill list.
Motion.
Who was the second?
Mr. Nicholas.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions on bill list 1 or 2? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley,
Yes.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yeah.
Mr. Nicholas,
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt,
Yes.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Ms. Stout,
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, we need a motion for the board action items C, 1 through 5, is it, or no, through
6D.
6, 1 through 6. Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Question, need board action items.
Yeah, Joanne, it's BJ. What was the change in health plan rates? As far as
The-
percentage?
Percentage-wise, it was 8% on health, 2% on prescription, and dental was flat.
Thank you.
I'd also like to accommodate my colleagues thank my colleagues for accommodating me on that Wednesday night board meeting date in July. Everybody have it, July 22nd.
Anything for you, Bill.
Thank you, gang. Okay, roll call vote, please.
I just need to confirm, I'm still not sure on the second whose voice that was.
Berkeley.
Thank you.
You're all set there, roll call vote?
Yes, Mrs. Berkeley,
Yes.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yeah.
Mr. Nicholas,
Yes.
Mr. Oxenbrandt.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt says
Mrs.
yes.
Oxenbrandt. Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Ms. Stout,
Yes.
and Mr. Hiltner.
Yes.
Carries.
And we have an addendum, right, Joanne?
Yes.
Need
Two
a
items.
motion- I'm sorry, need a motion for those board action items?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Questions? No?
Quick question, what are they moving?
Oh, you're talking
Is
about
it
Paul's
just cold
commodity?
storage?
Yeah, what are state
Yeah.
commodities?
Paul's Commodity Hauling does the state commodities for food service management companies, and that's like your peanut butter and other commodities that are available, and they've been doing this for years. So it's an annual approval that we have to do, and as part of the application process, it's on the Department of Agriculture site. So it's just it's a formality that we are required to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, no other questions? We need a roll call?
Yes. Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Committee reports. Mrs. Oxenbrand, Education.
Thank you. As reported out at our last meeting, I went into a lot of detail about what the Education Committee meeting was all about, and there was a copy attached. Under athletics and student activities, disappointingly, our spring sports season has been canceled. And athletic head coaches had a meeting via Skype on the 12th to discuss the NJSIAA statement and to continue plans for the varsity award program.
Thank you. By the way, there was a very nice article in the Courier Post, I believe it was, about 2 weeks ago on Andrew Miller. Don't know how many of you remember Andrew. What year would he have graduated, Matt? Any idea?
He was about 2008, 17 or 18.
Okay. Andrew is playing Major League Baseball in a minor league system of one of the Major League teams who escaped me at the moment. Do you know, Matt?
I think the Florida Marlins.
Okay, could be. Anyways, a beautiful article about him being home during the coronavirus pandemic, working as a attendant at a local golf course, but eager to get back to Major League Baseball, which reminds me, we have two young men, which is pretty impressive. There's a boy by the name of Donovan Casey, who's also playing minor league baseball in the Dodgers, the LA Dodgers system. He's actually home as well. They're both anxious to get going again. That's a feather in our cap to have two kids playing playing in Major League Baseball programs. I'm sorry. If I go off task there, I apologize.
No problem.
Okay. Let's open it back up again to visitors' comments. Open end, 5-minute limit once again. I'll refresh your memory on the phone number if you want to call us. It's 856-882-1126.
And the clock has started. Mr. K will keep us informed. Okay, Mr. K has indicated we have no callers at this time.
Okay. Moving on to all the new business. Mrs. Berkeley.
Just want to say thanks, Matt, for all the work you've been doing, keeping us updated, and for all the graduation work everybody's putting in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clark.
I just want to commend the students and the teachers, administration, whomever is working in the food bank, especially in this pandemic, to see a group of young people come together to support their community for the folks that may not be as fortunate and that are in need is something that I believe should not go unnoticed. So thank you for that.
Mr. Clark, if I could add, we have our ROTC has a food pantry, and in addition, Miss Casey Billingsley got a grant from the NJEA, and with that money, we added to our food bank. We fed first responders, and we put a sign up out front. And I want to thank Miss Stepash, Miss Billingsley, and the students who helped pack those the packages for our first responders. So again, I echo what Mr. Clark has said, and the community's really come together.
Great point, Jason. Great point. Okay, let's go with Ms. Liz Miller.
I have nothing.
Okay, Mr. Nicholas?
No, I have no comments.
Mrs. Okeson Brand?
I just wanted to commend the school again for the No Place for Hate designation. That's truly a wonderful award to receive in a high school, and compliments to everyone who worked so hard to receive that designation.
Thank you. Mr. Sims?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to pass a message on from Chief Campbell, obviously thanking the SEA and Ms. Billingsley and her son for dropping off the trees to our police station, which they also did the fire station and the entire Sterling district. So it was absolutely a wonderful thing to see. Just commend you on your staff there, Matt. They're nice people to get things done.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that leaves us with Mrs. Stout.
Yes, so I want to, go on top of everybody else about the food distribution that has been happening with ROTC. It's very commendable to the students and the parents who have been very involved with it. My son, Matthew, also was one of the firemen at Hynella when they came and delivered it. He said they really did appreciate the thought behind it. So thank you all.
Thank you. I'll reiterate some of the earlier comments. Mr. Sheehan and his admin team have been working very hard to pull a lot of things together here at the last minute. It's an ever-shifting dynamic, and we know they're not done yet. Matt and I are on speed dial these days, so he's keeping us posted and continuing to work hard. So keep up the good work there, Mr. Sheehan.
Thank you. Will do.
Okay, I believe we have a need for executive session. Mrs. Augustine, do you want to pinch hit for me?
Yes. All right.
Actually, if you want me to do it, I can do it.
Okay.
Whereas NJSA 10:4-12 allows for a public body to go into closed session during a public meeting, and whereas, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Ed at Sterling High School will go into executive session for the following reasons as outlined in NJSA 10:4-12. Number 9, any matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance, promotion, or disciplining of any specific public officer or employee, or current public officer or employee or appointed by the public body, unless all individual employees or appointees whose rights to be adversely affected request in writing that such matter or matters be discussed in a public meeting. I believe we have to ask Mr. Sheehan to step out for a minute, correct?
Right, the reason is the superintendent contract, we're estimating it would take approximately 20 minutes and action may be taken.
Okay, and at this time, I'll ask Mr. K to step out to Channel 19. right, welcome to Monday, April 20th to Light the Nights. This is to honor our senior students and all our students. You know, we miss you guys, and we want to let you know that we're in this together. And that's a chance for the teachers to come out and just say a quick hello to their students, and hopefully see you soon.
Go Knights!
1, 2, 3, go Knights!
Go Knights!
That's the thing, right?
Go Knights!
Go Knights! Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights! We miss you, seniors.
Go Knights!
Go Knights! Go Knights!
Go Knights! Go Knights! Go Knights! Go Knights! Go Knights!
Go Knights! Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights! Go Knights! Class of 2020, we miss you, man. Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Go Knights! Go Knights! Go Knights!
Go Knights!
Okay, I believe, are good to go.
We're all set?
All set.
Okay, someone want to make that motion again on the new superintendent's contract?
It's VJ Oates Brand. I'd like to move that we send the superintendent contract to the executive county superintendent for review and approval.
Second.
Got that, Joanne?
Yes.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mrs. Oaksenbrand?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I think that concludes our business for this evening.
Yes.
Mr. Sims, please note that it's 7:33.
We got done earlier, but that's it.
Oh, my God.
All right, we need somebody to make a motion to adjourn now, right?
Yes.
Make a motion.
Second, this is Mr. Clark.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gang.
Be safe, enjoy the